Greetings, it's July 10th, it's 11 p.m. and there's been some infrared movement, some movement eastwards and some new hotspots that have been popping up, and there may be evacuation orders and alerts that are going into effect. We had notice from a viewer in the comment section, and I really appreciate that, getting first-hand reports from the eyes and ears on the ground. We're looking at the Sparks Lake fire, and Red Lake is on the eastern perimeter of the Sparks Lake fire. This viewer is to the east of Red Lake and had commented that BC Wildfire is doing back burning in the area. There was a lot of smoke and some concern on the wind direction. Winds have primarily been coming from the southwest, but the infrared is showing right up to the western shore of Red Lake. The infrared does not appear to reach the southern shore of Red Lake. However, it does extend further south in latitude. And those red squares are 375 meters squared. They do not represent fire encompassing that entire square. They only indicate where heat was detected somewhere within that square. So this is an active area with limited access in and out. And if you're traveling in the region, you want to check with the links below, go to BC Wildfire and find out where access is available and what areas are under evacuation order. We've rolled into a screen from Windy. We're looking at generally a little bit cooler temperatures, maybe some cloudy sky tomorrow. The wind is primarily from the northwest, 8 to 9 kilometers an hour, but there could be gusts up to 30 kilometers an hour, and the wind can shift. It can change a little bit of direction. So if you're east of that fire flank, just be aware. And from what I understand, wildfire crews are on hand and they're proceeding with a planned strategy to eliminate fuel. Let's move a little bit further east now. We're looking north of Kamloops on the road to Sun Peaks. This is an area called Whitecroft. It's east of Heffley Lake, it's west of Sun Peaks, and we're seeing a hot spot up in a block of bush to the north of the road, and there's a built-up area just to the southeast. So I've heard word that there's activity in this area, and if you're traveling here, you want to be very aware because access routes will be limited. If we check with Windy, winds are coming from the northwest at 5 kilometers an hour, and looking at the forecast, a very similar situation to the Sparks Lake fire. Winds are tomorrow about 9 kilometers an hour. There could be gusts up to 40 kilometers an hour. And then looking early on Monday, there may be more of a wind shift coming directly from the north. So seeing as the road and some of these built-up areas are to the south, you want to be very aware of that. What is the wind speed, direction, and what is the terrain and vegetation between you and the fire line, and what are the access routes to get in and out? So again, please check with the links below, the BC Wildfire Situation page, and you can also check the DRIVEBC link, and they've got incidents marked on their map. Now we're moving a little bit further east. This is to Adams Lake, and we're looking at the north end of Adams Lake. There's some cloud cover there, so we may not be getting all the infrared data. There's a cluster of infrared detections just up the hill on the western shore of Adams Lake, and there's another one to the north of Little Momich Lake. This will be another situation where winds will be prevalent from the west and could start moving from the northwest. So there's very limited access. Be aware and have a plan in place in case you have to choose a different route. We're moving up north to the Caribou Interlakes area. We're looking at Canim Lake. There's new 24-hour hotspots to the south of Canim Lake and towards Sulphurous Lake and Decca Lake. There's also more clusters of infrared kind of making their way eastward on the north side of Canim Lake, north of Eagle Creek, and to the east of Lang Lake. So it's an active area. I've got all the MODIS and VIRS indicators on right now, so we're actually seeing multiple sets of data. And we can see in this image, it's to the north of Roger Lake, and it appears to be moving eastward of Roger Lake. Looking at the wind for this region, very similar to down south, 7 kilometers an hour coming from the north. And looking at the forecast, variable wind speeds. It seems to slow down very early in the morning. There can be gusts in the afternoon up to 20-30 kilometers an hour, and the average breeze is going to be around 9-10 kilometers an hour. It could actually start getting a little hotter on Monday, and I'm not really seeing any precipitation. I'm also seeing that on Monday, about 5 o'clock in the morning, the winds can shift a little bit and start coming from the south as it cools down. So there's going to be some meandering and changing of directions throughout the week. We're moving south again. This is to the area around Lytton, and we're looking at a cluster of infrared that has been moving east along Highway 1, along the Thompson River. It's to the south of Highway 1. It's a large cluster there. It appears to have made a little bit of movement eastward, but what caught my attention was about 15 kilometers south. There's another hot spot that's kind of showed up about halfway between Lytton and Boston Bar, so just to be aware of that one. Generally though, in the Lytton area, I'm seeing a reduction in the new hot spots being generated every day. Now we're going to jump to an area in the southwest corner of the province. This is north of Highway 17. There's a large forested preserve there. It's called the Burns Bog. It's not unusual to have fires there. And another one caught my attention. This is to the west of the Queensboro Bridge in Burnaby. It's in a bit of a forested block, but it's not unusual to see hot spots in cities because there's industrial activity going on, and sometimes these will trigger an infrared detection. But it is wildfire season and no location is immune. And a bit of a good news story, I hope. We're looking back up north. This is in the area around Pavilion, the McKay Creek fire, and today I'm not seeing any new infrared. There's always a chance that things are being obscured by smoke and cloud, but we've got all 4 satellite systems selected, and for the last 24 hours, no new infrared has been detected in this fire perimeter. If we zoom out and take a look at the southeastern part of the province, I am seeing small spots that pop up. There's that one by Nakusp. There's still some down by Nelson over towards Sparwood. There's a couple of new ones between Cranbrook and Nelson. There have been intermittent thunder and lightning storms rolling up through the province, coming up against the Rockies, and then moving northeast after Prince George. So there's bound to be 1 or 2 spot fires that pop up after 48 hours. They've smoldered and then they start showing when they get a bit drier and some wind comes up. So the wildfire crews have definitely been busy. There's lots of activity in the province, and I'm seeing more larger fires in the northern part of the province with that eastern drift as strong winds push from the west and push the fires eastward and blow a lot of the smoke eastward. If there was a message I could extend, I guess it would be stay vigilant, stay in contact with friends and neighbors, keep your eyes open for those plumes out in the wilderness. Make sure that you know your access routes. Check with the links below, BC Wildfire, DRIVEBC, and check out the lightningmonitor.org. That's been valuable. Be safe. Keep your nose to the breeze, and thank you very much for watching.